Hello and welcome to the May edition of the EPA's Project Updates. In this month's edition, we'll be hearing from Josh Berle, Business Development Director at MasterCard, who has been driving the EPA's financial inclusion agenda, Jane G, Chair at Comply Global, who is leading the EPA's charge against financial crime, and Hugh Davies, the Chief Commercial Officer at Ozone API, an industry thought leader and mentor to the EPA's Project Open Banking. They'll be sharing what their projects have been up to over the last month and what they're looking forward to in the month of May. Regarding two of our other projects, Project International Trade and Project Regulator, we have some updates too. Regarding Project International Trade, we are currently selecting a number of countries where the EPA can provide a virtual toolkit to help EPA members with market entry. The team are also exploring some of the problems that the end user faces when it comes to global cross-border payments. Regarding Project Regulator, the team have been discussing recent consultation responses to the FCA on strong customer authentication and the PSR on consumer protection. We are also continuing to work with the FCA to provide anecdotal feedback on EPA members and their operational resilience during COVID and post-Brexit. Before I pass on to Josh Berle, I also wanted to highlight two key bits of research underway at the EPA. Firstly, I'd like to draw your attention to a white paper which has just been released to our members yesterday. And that white paper is called Customer Disputes, a Review of Chargebacks and Double Credits. We undertook this research in partnership with Chargebacks 911, and you can download it early before the wider industry receive it. Today, in this email, you should be able to find a link below. As well as this, and sticking within the realm of financial crime, we are proud to be working with EPA member Refinitiv on a new project called How to Prevent Financial Crime and Payment Fraud and the Role of Digital Identity. We will be reaching out to EPA members who would like to be a part of this research. If this is something that is of interest to you, please do reach out. We'd love to hear from you. I will let Josh Berle now take it away.
Hello there, Josh Berle from MasterCard, giving you an update on Project Inclusion and what we've been up to throughout the month of April. Well, first of all, we were following up with social media publicity in respect of the report that we published in March on affordable credit. We also have been organising, and we put on a webinar on the same subject. We need to talk about credit. You may have seen some of the publicity around that, which went very, very well indeed. We're very pleased with that. In the meantime, we are preparing another report, this time on lifestyle and values-based financial services, a slightly different approach to how we've traditionally defined financial inclusion, which we're very much looking forward to the publication of. We'll also put on a webinar around that as well, because we think there are lots of different angles to explore around that. And in addition to that, we will be undertaking a follow-up to last year's survey into the impact of the pandemic, now that we have a whole year's worth of stories and evidence and experience to look at how that has impacted the world of financial services focused on financial inclusion. In addition to that, we're currently just looking at what the work programme for the rest of the year will look like, and we're looking to see to what extent we can get involved in public affairs activity with EPA. If any of that's of interest, please do drop me a line. We'd love to have you involved, and look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Hello, my name is Jane G, and this is a very brief update on what we've been doing at Project Financial Crime at the EPA. As you may know, financial crime is a very hot topic at the moment, and we have been very pleased to see that the government is proposing to implement many of the recommendations made by Ron Khalifa in his FinTech review, which was published in February. We're going to issue a statement about that in due course. We're also pleased to have seen the RegTech Associates and City of London Corporation report on RegTech, which again is encouraging to the RegTech market. And we're hopeful that that will lead to many of the RegTechs which can help solve financial crime being more widely adopted. We are also pleased that we are going to publish a white paper called Customer Disputes, Chargebacks and Double Credits. And we're grateful to Mark McMurty for preparing that report and to Chargebacks 911 for sponsoring it. There are other topics which are very important at the moment: digital identity and data sharing. And digital identity is a topic on which the Department for Digital Culture, Media and Sport are consulting at the moment. Their consultation has just closed. So there'll be more on that next month and more on data sharing. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello again. So my name's Hugh Davies. I'm one of the founding team at Ozone and the project mentor for Project Open Banking. I can't believe it's already time for another update. It only seems like last week that we did the last one. But again, there's been lots going on the last few weeks. So we submitted a response to the CMA's consultation around the future model for open banking in the UK. So that was a big piece of work. So thanks to Andrew Churchill and all of the team who fed into pulling that together in what was a pretty short period of time. We also fed into the quarterly review between the EPA and the FCA, which happened last week, and there are a few open banking issues to discuss there. And moving forward, we've got a project meeting coming up in the next week or so, I think, where we'll be working through continuing to develop the strategy for the project, the main priorities and the immediate areas of focus. So yeah, lots going on, and looking forward to continuing working with all of the team on it. Thanks a lot.
Hi, I'm Alison Donnelly, and I have the privilege of leading Project Regulator. This month, Project Regulator had its quarterly information sharing session with the FCA. There were a number of issues on the agenda, but one of the key things that came out was in reflecting on both the analysis of the Premier FX case, that's the authorised payment institution that was recently censured by the FCA, and the feedback from some of our members about the FCA was the difficulty for firms, particularly smaller firms, who aren't relationship managed by the FCA, who don't have a direct contact in the supervision team, and who may have staff that don't come from a financial services background, and therefore there's a gap in their ability to make assessments and understand what the FCA really intends, particularly in a new field, a constantly evolving field, and how actually it's very expensive to bring in that level of input that's necessary, but that is a cost of doing business. All our members, without fail, acknowledged that the FCA go to great lengths to provide information and to provide guidance in the approach document and the perimeter guidance, but still feel that the information that's given is not quite as exact, it's not quite as easy to understand as the FCA would like, or certainly intends it to be. Mitch Trahan also gave a brilliant synopsis of the Project Banking Access briefing paper and the difficulties that firms find in getting access to the correct information from banks about who will offer them as a non-bank payment service provider a payment account for the operation of their business. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon.
I hope you enjoyed watching, and as always, if you'd like to get involved in one of the EPA's projects or one of the EPA's research initiatives, please do reach out to one of our project leads or myself at tom.brewin@emergingpayments.org. Thank you.